Okay, so we're at day 2 on my build here, and let me bring instructions up to tell you what spot I'm at. Where's my build sheet here? Okay, so I am actually above here. I am it's like step 5, but I undid some stuff. So I have my hot plate all built, and I had my plate here in place, and what I was finding was that these bearings weren't sliding very well. And the reason is these holes don't perfectly line up with these holes. So I am going to have to wobble them to give me a little bit of play. So when I had them all together, everything was kind of binding a bit, and if I tipped it upside down, it would hold in a vertical position. So I've measured each one of these when I had this on using the caliper depth gauge, and I was able to just kind of put it on the end here and get it. And what's my measurement here? 98 millimeters from each side. Seem to put it right in the center, which is perfect, I guess. I actually have no idea, but 98 millimeters. And I was checking the rest of everything else for square, and the only tool I have is a framing square. The only thing I'm seeing is a tiny bit out of square up here, maybe a degree. So when I put the motor plate up here, I will try to square it up. Yeah. Everything else I tested down below seemed really square. Like I said, I want to get an inclinometer so that I can square things up to themselves. I also want to install feet on the bottom of this thing so that I can level it. Yeah. So I'm going to wobble these out, and I'll bring you back in a couple minutes, and we'll see how it works. Okay, so I have the holes reamed out, and I used, what did I use? I did the 3 outer holes with a 9/64 bit, and the inner holes with a 5/32, and I wobbled it a bit. And now it's nice and smooth and square, it seems. And if I take my square and put it on the end, it hits nice and even all the way across. So, of course, that assumes these end stops are perfect, but I don't know how important that is. I'll find out later, I guess. So I'm going to finish installing this. I don't have the nuts in the back yet, but when I first installed it, I've heard other people say the same thing, when they had to basically put all the screws in and leave the bed raised and slowly cinch it down, and that creates binding. And now I got no binding whatsoever. So if you have to do that, then something's wrong. You need to go back and look at it. Like I said, wobbling these out, screwing them down seems to get much better fix than overpowering the binding that's going on. So let me get back to assembling this. And yeah, a couple other things. Make sure these are tight. They can spin. I had put together, and I thought they were nice and good because they weren't sliding back and forth, but they spun a little bit. Oh, getting the bearings in the holders is a pain. I used a hook knife for making spoons that I have, and I was able to scrape the end of a couple thousandths of an inch that I needed to get them to fit. And I installed the bearing holders under the bearing, and then the plate to the bearing holder. But this was a godsend. What is it? This is a Mora, like $30. So let me get back to it. Okay, so last video for this part. I'm up to end of step 5. So install the bed, no big deal. Make sure the wires come out the back. First time I installed it, I had them come out the front, and of course that doesn't make any sense. Compared to the instructions, I don't have these these type bolts with the kit. They just have a bunch of pan head style bolts. So yeah, that is what it is. Easiest way to get them on was to put the spring underneath, drop the screw through, the bolt through, and thread the bottom. But seems to work well, and I'm going to go in step 6 next, which will be the next video. So until next time, thanks for watching.